I want to be very clear about something during this Bitcoin chart planning update video. I want to go over the real important structure in Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about FOMO or fear, hype, hope, or anything like that. There's a lot of articles like these that are great, and you know what? I agree with them. Not to talk bad about any of this or the editor or anything, but I think a lot of these articles are just to give hope to people about Bitcoin for those that want it to go up. It's like bias confirmation. Forget about past historic performance in February where we see mostly great Februaries. Forget about all that. And I'm not going to go over the smaller structures where we can see like, oh, it looks like we're making higher lows and we're making higher highs, so it will make sense for this to continue to go higher. And we have imbalances, and I'm not going to talk about any of this. What I really want to talk about is the important overall picture of Bitcoin and why I personally believe it's going to go higher. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin is just a supply and demand kind of field, right? Does that make sense? And if we go back and really look at the bigger picture of Bitcoin here, right, where it continues to go higher and it continues to move up, and we're seeing, you know, improvements in the structures over time. This is what really matters too, right? Is we've seen Bitcoin consistently moving higher. What we're seeing now appear, in my opinion, is a smaller picture of what we're seeing here. Not that this is gonna be as lengthy as this. Probably not. I don't think so. I do not think so. What we saw here was very, very lengthy consolidation. And during this time, we had a lot of great positive news coming out. Great positive news. We've seen negative news at the same time, but it was just a lot of support, a lot of background Bitcoin buying, more adoption. Everything was just kicking off, and a lot of people were wondering why isn't it pumping up if all these great things are happening, and we continue to move sideways, slightly downtrending a little bit at the same time too. So understanding this time, if you guys remember this time, which wasn't that long ago, and then we had a pump up. So if right now we are in a similar time where we're seeing a lot of sideways movement on Bitcoin. So after this, we saw a pump, and now we're seeing a lot of continued sideways movement, but we still have the same foundation of continued adoption. There's a lot more background buying going on. There is um, increased buying. There's a lot of pending orders. Like there's a lot of companies in more states that are looking to add more. Governments are planning to add. Nothing's been officially announced just yet, but it makes me think like what makes it different this time than when we were back here and continuing to watch this move. And then we saw it come down, down, and then up once again, and it just continues to rally from there. So it's like, what's different now? Nothing, in my opinion. We've seen it go up, we've seen it come down, we've seen it go up, we've seen it come down. It will make sense for it to go up, right? We have that foundation in place where Bitcoin is becoming a much more serious um, kind of transaction around the world, and especially in the US. And they're holding, and by they, I mean government, states, and you name it, it's tons of companies. And at the same time, unlike, not unlike, but over here, we never saw this really show any significant weakness. We've seen healthy rises within the down pattern. We've seen healthy rises, but nothing that breaks below previous lows significantly. So if you compare it to now, it's like we're seeing healthy rises. We're seeing downs that don't break significantly below the previous, lows or downs. It's like there's nothing different. And in fact, I honestly think the confidence in this background buying in Bitcoin from all of these different governments and entities, it's like it's just becoming a lot stronger. And after this down, like, well, we didn't see another down and nothing significant after that either. So it's like if we're currently in a time where we have the information in front of us that we can see how strong adoption is, we can see the Bitcoin supply going down, but we see this going sideways. So it's like, does it not make sense that we are soon going to see a pop and actually make another high and go up into these higher levels? Like, to me it makes sense because nothing has changed. I just think it's actually all becoming a bit stronger. And on top of that, you can even argue, if you do want to get technical, and be like, well, technically we are in an uptrend, even if it looks like we're moving sideways. Like, you have a high here, but a higher high. You have a low, but a higher low, and then it just continues. Like, nothing has changed. There's no cracks in this like confidence of the supply continuing to go down and more adoption for Bitcoin. And it's just growing and getting stronger. Especially if you consider the bull market cycle, and we're in the last year of it, and we should see higher prices soon enough. So it's like, all of these small dips, and so many investors and traders freaking out over these small dips, and it's like, this is nothing compared to bigger pictures. Even this bigger picture, if you go back and you look at these swings, is like, if the foundation is there and becoming stronger and just growing with no signs of weakness, at least not yet, right? So it's like, why are people freaking out so much if we're not just below $100 again, but we have all this, like, not just promising things in the near future for the amount of Bitcoin buying that's going to happen, for example, like in the reserve. But it makes no sense. So you have the foundation, right? You have a similar sideways pattern where you have continued confidence and growing confidence on Bitcoin, but we're moving sideways just like previously, right? Like I showed you guys earlier. And at the same time, well, if we're doing something like this, right? Like, well, look at that. It's still in the discounted portion. So it's like, guys, I really don't know what else to say. I just really, really want to make things clear and try to remove a lot of the fear and hopefulness. Like, don't, like, sure, it's fine to be hopeful for it to go up, but you gotta have a reason why you're being hopeful. You have to have a genuine reason why you're being fearful. And it's just something I kind of want to share my opinion about, because like everything I said in this video, it's just my own opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm just sharing everything with you guys. But like, I hope this made sense. I hope this video made sense to one of you. But and I hope you enjoyed it. But I'll catch you guys on the next update video. I just wanted to make this quick update, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.